ASEAN Dailies. First and foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Hello and welcome to DurianASEAN.com. You're with Gowri today on a Wednesday morning, and I'm back here to bring you more news from all over Southeast Asia, as well from other parts of Asia Pacific, and some important local headlines as well. And of course, speaking of local headlines, the news that shook the nation and also caused a lot of mixed reactions among people, a lot of disappointment, a lot of tears, a lot of anger. And of course, I'm talking about Anwar getting 5 years as federal court maintains his sodomy eviction. And the verdict ends effectively yesterday, and it seems that he now stands to lose his Pematang Power parliamentary seat, as the law bars anyone fined over 2,000 or imprisoned more than 1 year from serving as a lawmaker. So this will also impact on Pakatan Rakyat, of course, because they will now be without a leader. And there have been words that the likely person to take over him will be our Selangor Menteri Besar Azmin Ali. He seems to be the next in line. They will have to sit together, of course, to discuss carefully and to see who is the right person to take over. But for now, from a lot of the sources, the articles, it seems that the favorite candidate as of now is PKR's Azmin Ali. And just to give a little bit of background to what happened in the sodomy cases of Anwar, which we'll be discussing much more in detail later in our Durian Heat at 9 o'clock. And the timeline of Anwar's sodomy 1 and 2 cases, this of course started back in 1998 when he was first charged with corruption and also sodomizing his wife's driver. And he was sentenced to a 9-year jail, but the federal court overturned his conviction in 2004 and he was released from the prison. But in June 26, 2008, he was accused once again of sodomizing his former political aide, Muhammad Saiful. And this is the one that went on for years and years and years up until today, of course. But in 2012, he was acquitted because the court cannot rule out the possibility that the DNA evidence was compromised, and therefore he was acquitted for a short period. But it seems that the federal court went back on their own decision and upholds the conviction, and therefore the final verdict has Anwar going to jail for the next 5 years, which will have not just an impact on himself or his family, but also a major change on the political scene in Malaysia as well, especially for the opposition team. And as soon as the verdict was announced, of course, Anwar's family broke into tears, and he said, "See you in some years," before departing with the policeman. And like I mentioned earlier, this has a lot of mixed reaction because he was also the leader of our opposition party. It comes off as a move to sort of shake up the opposition in the country, since they've been going really, really strong in especially the last 2 elections. They've been giving our ruling party a pretty hard time in that sense, and this seems like another way to suppress the freedom for the opposition to come up in the country. But let's see what happens after this. We might have a new leader for our opposition party, and we'll see what he has to do for the country. And moving on to Indonesia, a very interesting headline where the Foreign Minister Retno LP Marsudi said the government was committed to helping the release of 229 Indonesian nationals currently on death row in other countries. And she also said that the government will continue to provide legal and consular assistance for citizens facing capital punishment. And President Joko Widodo has come forward to say that he has instructed all Indonesian embassies and consulates abroad to unite with death row convicts and their families to help with their psychological well-being. And this is, I would say, a very hypocritical move by Jokowi, because we know that he just he had 6 inmates on death row, and a lot of people called for him to come up with a different way to punish them or not be so harsh in terms of giving them the death penalty, but he went ahead and executed all of them anyway. So why does he think that it's okay for him now to call out to Indonesians abroad on death row and call out to those countries and say, you cannot kill my citizens, since he just did the same thing like a couple of weeks ago? And this foreign minister was also speaking in response to criticisms that Indonesia has received, of course, for their plans to execute a lot of foreign nationals, mostly for drug-related crimes. And these nationals are from countries like Brazil, Malawi, Nigeria, Netherlands, Vietnam, and these are all for involvement in drug trafficking. And most Indonesian nationals on death row abroad are mostly in Malaysia and Saudi Arabia, and they are mostly charged also under drug-related crimes for murder. So I don't know how this one is going to turn out so far. It's very obvious that why is it okay for Indonesia to actually execute foreign nationals, people, other citizens who are in their country, but when it comes to their own citizens who are abroad, and now they feel compelled to reach out and help. Even recently, President Aquino did appeal to Jokowi to release the Filipino woman that was under their captive, and he refused. And they struck up a different kind of deal, a memorandum of understanding, mostly relating to drug-related offenses. But I've nothing much to say except that this seems like a big hypocrisy on Jokowi's part, and we'll be waiting for further statements from him regarding this matter. And we'll be taking a short break. When we come back, I'll bring you a couple more news from Southeast Asia.
ASEAN Dailies. First and foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Hello and welcome back to DuranASEAN.com. You're with Gowri, and this is a Wednesday morning. I'm at the ASEAN Daily segment to bring you news from all over the region. And moving on to Cambodia, we have Cambodian officials stepping up to support activities to promote ties with China itself. And it seems that the Cambodian president of the National Assembly, Heng Samrin, on Tuesday voiced his support to all joint activities between Cambodia and China in advancing ties and cooperation in culture and information, a spokesman said. And this support is to all kinds of cooperation between Cambodia and China, especially in terms of culture and information technology. And these sectors seems to be very important to bring closer relations between people, and that is their justification for this move. And Samrin also praised Cambodia and China's Yunnan province for co-organizing the 2015 Spring Festival night show, which will be held Tuesday evening in Phnom Penh, saying that this event will also reflect the growing exchange of culture between the two countries. And this Spring Festival night show will also it's seen as a move to further enhance culture and information ties between China and Cambodia. And while they are encouraging more Chinese investors to also come in and explore business opportunities in China, it seems like a way to open up the barriers between the two countries, to break whatever wall in between, so the Chinese can come in and get to know the Cambodians, get to know the different sectors in Cambodia, what are their possible investment options, or what are the business opportunities that Cambodia can offer to China. And as we all know, China is already causing a little stir in Cambodia in terms of causing the illegal trade of rosewood because of the huge demand for that luxury wood in Cambodia. So hopefully this will be more of a positive thing, counteracting that the illegal trade that China has indirectly caused in Cambodia. And moving on back to Malaysia, something more regional. We have Malaysia to host the 17th meeting of the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights, also known as AICHR, AICHR. And this will be held in Kuala Lumpur. It will be the first series of the AICHR meeting under the Malaysian chairmanship in 2015. So if you guys still don't already know, yes, we are the ASEAN chairman of 2015. Malaysia is in charge of ASEAN this year. We will be hosting a lot of such conferences, meetings the whole year. And Wisma Putra also said in a statement that the 4-day meeting will begin on Wednesday. And of course, it will be chaired by our Malaysian representative to AICHR, who is Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdullah. And building the achievement in 2014 under the chairmanship of Myanmar, while they've already laid their foundations there, they are trying to continue, especially to discuss on a few important and key issues regarding human rights in this region and also in Malaysia. Sadly, we do not have a good track record when it comes to human rights in this country. Of course, Malaysia is not alone. A lot of other countries in the region, but us as well, even as chairmen. And this meeting is, it seems like an opportunity for the AICHR to actually come in and discuss and exchange views on human rights issues in ASEAN. And hopefully they will address more on the issues of foreign workers, which seems to be the biggest issue that we are facing. And Malaysia will also launch the AICHR Malaysia national website during the welcoming dinner on Wednesday itself, and all the updates can be obtained right there. And that's all I have for you guys today. And if you want any updates on Durian ASEAN, of course, you can follow us on our Facebook page. You can follow us on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram. And if you're on the move, just download our TuneIn app and look for Durian ASEAN. You'll be tuning to us. So coming up at 9 o'clock later, we have the Durian Heat, where we will be discussing Anwar's conviction in detail. So stay tuned for that one.